It is time for our Game of the Week, now brought to you by Children's Health. Colorado heads to Lubbock, Texas for a showdown with Texas Tech. To help us break down this matchup is sideline analyst for Texas Tech Football Radio and co-host of the Locked On Texas Tech podcast, Chris Level. Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, Chris, love your work in Locked On Texas Tech. And I got to ask you, listening to some of those, it sounds like the vibes in Lubbock are pretty awesome right now. Can you describe to us what the feel is there?
Amazing what a win will do, you know. There's a renewed hope. You go pull off, an upset. I think to a lot of folks, I don't think they felt like it was necessarily an upset in Lubbock, but you go beat an Iowa State team that was perfect to that point, and you do it at their place in bad weather and all those things, and you just do it in dramatic fashion. So, yeah, I think people are excited, and you're playing meaningful football in November, which is what everybody wanted around here.
Absolutely. Feels like there's a lot of momentum around that program right now. Well, let's talk X's and O's. Colorado comes into this game ranked 8th in the country in passing. You know the names: Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn. How does Texas Tech slow them down?
I do know those names, yes. I think everybody in the country knows those names by now. I think, one, I don't think you can have a plan B here. You've got to make Shedeur Sanders feel uncomfortable at times. This crowd has to play a factor. I think if you give him time, you're playing with fire, and it's not a battle you're likely to win. He's very good at extending the play. I think, teams have gotten to him some in rushing the passer, but you just have to make him feel uncomfortable. And maybe he throws it to you once or twice. But I think that's kind of the game within the game. But if you can't make him uncomfortable, I don't see a path to victory here for you trying to slow them down.
Well, if you're talking about the Texas Tech offense, you got to talk about Taj Brooks. He is the motor of the attack, flirting with history. What do you expect from him this week?
Such a great kid, and I thought it was very poetic that he essentially got to win the game for the Red Raiders in Ames, Iowa, with that kind of wildcat play that the Zach Kitley called. He's 121 yards away from being the all-time leading rusher here. I think there'll be some former players here to potentially see if he can break that record. The most important thing is winning the game, and so again, I think on that side of the ball, if he can have his normal day, because he's been over 100 yards every game this season, if he can have his normal day, I think the Red Raiders it puts them in a really good spot to allow Baron Morton to try to attack some man-to-man coverage on the outside.
Chris, you made great points about how Texas Tech can make Colorado's offense uncomfortable as a whole. But if Texas Tech is going to get their first consecutive wins versus ranked opponents since 2012, let's talk big picture here. In your opinion, what needs to happen?
Yeah, you have to have a fast start, and I think you need to play complementary football. Too many times this year, Texas Tech's defense will play well, then the offense won't, or vice versa. So that's what it may take, is if you do get some stops, you do create some turnovers, you do make Shedeur Sanders uncomfortable, that's when the offense must also capitalize, and vice versa. But I think you have to have a fast start, and I think you've got to play a full game here, but you don't want to play from behind. I think against Colorado, who's so explosive. But you also have to understand that no lead is safe with Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and Horn and everybody that they've got to throw to are running around, because Baylor saw what that was like. And Colorado has won their last 2 road games by 27 points each. I mean, they went to Tucson and Orlando and really took care of business on the road. So, and these two coaches have a lot of respect for each other. They know each other, have known each other for a long time. And I appreciate that they respect each other so much, but it should make it fun on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, to your point, a lot of momentum around both of these programs right now. Colorado versus Texas Tech kicks off at 4 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Chris, thanks so much for joining us here on Inside the 12, and best of luck to your Red Raiders.
Guns up. Thank you very much.